My name's Nancy and I'm the Vocal Development Leader for Surrey Arts. We have an absolutely fantastic team of singing teachers. We give lessons in schools, we run choirs, and we run really big singing projects like primary festival concerts and singing picnics, and also massive projects in the community involving hundreds and hundreds of singers. In this video, we'd like to introduce you to some of those singing teachers and hear from them about what's inspired them through their lives to sing and why they do what they do. We believe absolutely everybody has a voice, and we would love to hear yours.
I was at school in the 70s. We always sang. We sang to learn our tables, to learn our alphabet. I was in the Tufty Club, which was all about the Green Cross Code. Singing was just a part of our school days. As I got older, then there were the opportunities to join the school choir, which I did. And I remember going to Llangollen, Eisteddfod, for the very first time. And it was amazing, all these choirs from all over the world, and such a sense of something that I was part of, and a very exciting experience. And then as I got older, I just carried on singing. I won a year of lessons at school, and I shared them with a friend, and we had a really inspirational teacher, a countertenor, Owen Wynne. And part of what I love about singing is the friendship. I actually joined, following university, where I ran various choirs, a cappella, university choir, chamber choir, so a real range of music. I then joined something called the Choir of Friends, and it literally was people that knew each other. And I think one of the joys of singing is that you get to know people, that is your thing that you have in common. And the better you know people, the better you get on with people, the better you sing as a group. You know, there's that humour, there's that empathy. You know when someone's going through a tough time and which songs are meaningful for them at that time. And there's a real joy in, you know, you're singing one line, but you're part of a much bigger piece of music. And it's the most satisfying thing in the world. I just love singing.
I didn't start singing until my late teens. I had a choir teacher from school who heard me sing in an assembly and said, "You need to join the choir." I messed him about for a bit and said I wasn't going to do it, but eventually he convinced me, and I found myself getting really immersed into this way of being creative.
So I got started with my singing when I was very little, because my parents were both singers. My mother was a soprano and my father was a tenor, and they used to have music on all the time, and I was particularly inspired by the opera The Magic Flute by Mozart. My father was taking the part of Pomino, and he used to have the music on, and I was listening intently, and I loved the songs that the Queen of the Night used to sing. These used to fill me with energy and enthusiasm, and I used to sing them in the back garden whilst I was swinging, and apparently I used to sing them at the top of my voice. And they're very energetic songs, very high, very florid, coloratura. I'm not quite sure whether I'd be able to sing them anymore, but certainly I did so as a young child.
I've always lived in a musical household. My grandparents were singers, my mum's a singer. My dad less so. I think I definitely get any musical ability from my mum's side of the family. I sang all throughout primary school, where thankfully we had a very music-oriented headmaster, so I was lucky enough to be able to sing every day.
I was in a choir when I was at primary school. Well, I sort of got dragged along to the choir by my friends. And whilst I was there, the teacher auditioned me for a nativity play, and I ended up getting the lead role of Babushka. Now, I didn't tell my parents that I could sing until they came to the actual show, and I got up and sang a solo, and they said, "Oh, I think you're actually quite good at that." And I thought, oh, okay, we'll just see what happens. And basically from there, I've just never really stopped singing.
When I was growing up, my parents were keen musicians, and they used to play in orchestras for amateur musical theatre productions. So from a very early age, I was taken along to watch these shows, these Gilbert and Sullivan operettas. And these were really my first experience of seeing and hearing people singing. I was also introduced to opera at a fairly young age. I was taken to see the opera Carmen and I was immediately hooked. I was absolutely fascinated by the character of Carmen, the fiery gypsy girl who gets all the best songs and all the best frocks. And I announced quite young that I wanted to be an opera singer when I grew up. I'd imagine my parents were fairly taken aback by that, but I did go on to start singing lessons when I was 15. And I was immediately hooked by the whole process of learning to sing, and it became the most important thing in my life. And I was so thrilled by the process of learning to use my voice and finding out just what I could do with it. Later on, I was lucky enough to be able to study music singing at the Royal Northern College of Music, and I did indeed go on to become an opera singer and to sing the role of Carmen. So that was one ambition fulfilled.
I kind of don't accept it when somebody says I can't sing, or they've been told perhaps at school that, oh dear, you're not going to make the choir because you can't hold a tune. And they've lived with that all their lives. And there was one particular teacher in a school I worked in recently who said, oh, you don't want me in your choir? And I said, why not? She said, well, I can't sing. I said, let me be the judge of that. After a few weeks in the choir, she had grown so much in confidence. She was standing out, leading a group of young people and not being embarrassed by the fact that somebody had told her ages ago that she couldn't sing, because now she knew she could, and she was having such a great time.
If somebody says to me, oh, I can't sing, I would encourage them to have a go. And I would encourage them to let go and to relax and to have fun and just to see what it feels like to be able to vocalise. It's a little bit like talking, but it's singing. And so it's not such a difficult thing to have a little try at doing. And we all have different voices. We all talk differently. So of course we're all going to sing differently. And there's no right or wrong. There's no voice that's that we all have to sound like. We just have to sound like ourselves, singing and enjoying and giving enjoyment. And it helps if you have a song, if you have something that you really enjoy singing, that you're inspired with, then you can put your energy and your emotion into that song. So I would say just have a go. And also find a very sympathetic singing teacher who's going to help you find your voice. That's what singing teaching is all about.
I would say for the person who says they can't sing, you have a voice and you might not necessarily feel that confident with it, but there's ways in which you can help yourself feel more comfortable with it. You can easily learn how to train your voice, how to secure your voice. And even if you don't feel that that kind of training is for you, then use your voice and sing in the shower or sing at home or croon along to something you hear on Spotify or the radio, because it's part of you, it's part of your self-expression, and it's important for all of us to develop.
Nonsense. You might feel like you can't sing well, but you can certainly sing, and it's my job as your teacher to make you see that.
I have had students come to me saying, oh, I'm tone deaf, my voice is so awful, I can't even sing happy birthday to you. Let me assure you, there's no such thing as being tone deaf. Everybody has a voice, and it's just a matter of finding it. Sometimes some people need more help than others.
Anyone can sing, and anyone can improve their voice. All professional artists continue to work on their voice. Obviously, all singing teachers continue to work on their voice. It's a learned skill. It isn't something that you can just do. So never think that you can't sing. Anyone can sing.
A singing lesson is an opportunity to learn more about your voice, to learn more about what you can do, and to see what can be used to make your instrument better. You'll typically do some warm-up exercises. You'll typically do some technical work. Don't be afraid about that. That's simply saying how high or low can your voice go, how quickly can it move, how loud and soft can it be. And then you start singing music, and that can be from all sorts of different things. Sometimes you'll be working towards a grade or towards some kind of qualification, and other times you'll be just learning for preparing for a performance down the line.
I imagine it's very different for everyone. Some people will be very excited and can't wait to get stuck in. Others might be a little bit apprehensive to sing in front of a total stranger, which is very understandable, which is why myself and all teachers at Surrey Arts aim to create a relaxed, stress-free, non-judgmental environment, which is the perfect combination to get you singing confidently. I personally try and fit several things into my lessons. These include warm-up exercises, working on various material, whether that's a song that I've suggested or a song that a student wants to work on. And I also try and fit a little bit of music theory into my lessons because it's so useful to understand all aspects of the musical world.
Singing lesson. Well, it's very physically demanding, because you're using a lot of muscles around your rib cage and your lungs because you're breathing. That's the main thing for singing. You've got to have really good breath control and technique. And you're using your mouth and your tongue, teeth and lips, and lots of things are going on. So it's very physical, and it's also very emotional. And you work together with your teacher, and you gain a really good relationship, a really special relationship. And you go on a journey together, and it's a sense of achievement. You work very hard, and when you get to the end of that journey and you achieve a performance of a particular song, it's very rewarding. So lots of great things come from having a singing lesson.
For me, singing lessons were something that I ended up doing as part of my college course. I studied music at college as well as literature, and learning to use my voice safely was a really important part of that, and also it really helped boost my confidence. So if you are thinking about having singing lessons, I really would recommend it. As well as doing the solo lessons, I also was part of my choir when I was at college, and for me that was just a fantastic experience, getting to do some concerts, just having great fun with my friends who were also on the course, and just being part of something. It just felt so great.
Well, I sang with the BBC Welsh Chorus for 4 years when I was a student in Wales, obviously, BBC Welsh Chorus, and it was lovely. I enjoyed it immensely. It was hard work, but it was hard work en masse. There were many of us in the choir, and there was safety in numbers. It was great. You could sing together in the soprano section, and you could all learn the song together. It was a great sense of camaraderie. And some of the best things about being in that choir were the friendships, but also the travelling that we did together, and the concerts and performances that we gave. A real sense of achievement, and again that working together as a group.
My first response is just to say fun, which isn't very useful. It's a fantastic way to develop your singing and musical ability without having the pressure of singing one-to-one. You get to meet like-minded people and have the fulfilling feeling of creating something special. Singing with other people, whether it's a group of 10 or 100 singers, is such a rush, and I really enjoy the feeling of being part of something. It's also a great way to discover new repertoire that you maybe wouldn't find or wouldn't usually consider singing.
For me, choir gives you a sense of identity. It gives you a sense of purpose. Choir is a chance to be together with others who like making music, and who like making music well. And you can use that as an amazing tool to learn from other musicians, other colleagues. I've learned so much from being in the room with people who are incredibly talented around me, and even when I'm conducting them, even when I'm leading them, there's something that they've done that's made me go, oh, I need to think about that, because that's really quite useful for this piece that I'm doing. It's all extremely inspiring there. And then what are some of the best things about being in a choir? I would say that it's that sense of community. It's a sense of security, being with others. It's that knowing that you can make music with people who are just as passionate about it as you are.
Joining a choir is a fantastic place to really learn the craft of singing. It gives you an opportunity to sing and build your confidence in a group of people, and also skills that you may not be thinking of obviously, such as learning to blend your voice with other voices, learning to listen out for other voices, being able to pitch better. That's all part of the process of becoming a good singer. Learning to harmonise is a brilliant skill, even if what you ultimately want to do is sing alone. You are gaining so many skills by joining a choir, and it's a wonderful way to meet people and have a great time.
Hello there, my name is Catherine and I am the conductor of the Surrey Youth Training Choir. The Training Choir is a group of young singers aged between 9 and 13. So mostly singers join us when they're around year 4, year 5, and they stay with us until they're the end of year 7 or year 8, when they move on to the Youth Choir, which is the ensemble for older kids. We're always looking for new singers and we love to see new faces. We have children from all around the county of Surrey, girls and boys alike, and they really, really are a good friendly bunch. So if you join Surrey Youth Training Choir, you are sure to make new friends. We sing lots of different types of songs at the choir. So we sing popular music, we sing of course some classical music, some folk songs, and even some songs from the musicals. So there's something for everybody, no matter what it is that you particularly love to sing. One of the things that we do at Surrey Youth Training Choir is that we will teach you how to read music. So even if you don't play a musical instrument or you've never sung in a choir before, even if you don't know how to read music when you join the choir, by the time you are ready to move up to the youth choir, you will be able to sight sing. We have our music in front of us for every rehearsal, and you will learn how to follow the patterns and the shapes of that music. So by the time you're 13, you will be able to sight sing music, which is a really, really great skill to have.
So I would really, really encourage you, if you are thinking about coming along to an ensemble or you're thinking about trying your first singing lesson, to just go along and do it. Singing is one of the greatest things that you can do for your mental health, for your physical health, and it is just a brilliant, brilliant, joyful tool in life to have.
Happy singing. Bye for now.